Welcome back to the post-match post-mortem on Ekstraklasa. What a game we've seen this Monday tea time in the foothills of Silesia. It has left a mountain to climb for Podbeskidzie. Unfortunately, what a brave effort for the team at the bottom of the league. They've lost in the end, though, 3-2 to Lech Poznan after an incredible performance with just 10 men. A missed penalty to boot by Podbeskidzie. Catching our breath in the studio, Robert Błaszczak and especially Chris Graham, who's been very emotional second half with his nailed-on punt for Lech Poznan and his promise that he'd sleep rough tonight if Lech Poznan didn't win. In jeopardy at several occasions there.
I'm mentally exhausted, Ed. I don't know how I'm going to speak for the next 35 minutes, but I'm absolutely shattered. But
you got over the line, that penalty was a bit nervy for you.
It was, and when the second goal went in for Podbeskidzie, I thought they're going to concede again here, Lech, because they just were so poor defensively tonight. Yeah. So lacking in confidence. Just no communication, and I thought this is going to be 3-3.
Well, how significant that Manuel Arboleda, the big centre half, who I've not been seen that's that impressive, but he's absent for a number of months now. I mean, is that significant for you as far as Lech Poznan betting for the rest of the season?
I think it has to be. I mean, this is the second game out. Both games, it's been car crash TV.
Well, six goals in 11 games conceded. Now 5 and 2, possibly 3 of the penalty being converted.
Yeah, exactly. Without Arboleda, and that. Really significant. Blissett had an absolute nightmare tonight. He can't play centre half. He's a great wing back, offensively rather than defensively. But he can't play centre half. Boy, move him from that position, please.
But Lech Poznan got up to second, and I just wonder, Podbeskidze's new manager Marcin Sissel, how much kind of responsibility on him and the fact he took off their top scorer, Robert Damian. Yellen has an open goal, then misses a penalty. If Damian's on the pitch, perhaps he's there to take those two opportunities and they win 4-3.
Look, I have to admit, in a way, you would like to blame the manager for the decision, but he has trusted keeping on the pitch one of the best players the team will ever have.
Yellen's a Polish international, but out of sorts. He seems.
But it's just incredible. I mean, not only first he missed that one-on-one, but then when he missed the penalty, I have to admit that. It was still, I believe that, Podbeskidzie would be straight back into the game. Just after conceding for 2-1, they would be back on the level terms if he converted that penalty. So I have to admit that that would be just a completely different match if he had scored. I
think both managers started to be sleepless with nightmares about defending, weren't they? And it started off this way for Podbeskidzie in particular, and Sasa will have something to say about this surely. Enriquez swinging over the left-footed corner kick, and we knew about Slazarski's aerial threat. We previewed all the headers he scored this season before the game, but surely Podbeskidzie apparently hadn't seen that, Robert. What was this all about?
It's just incredible when you look at the linkage between the players that were supposed to marking him, even if it's Zolan marking.
It's quite a high-hanging corner as well. It's not like a really whipped one. He's had time to sort of jog into position and then just nod it in.
No, he was basically there was a training movement where there was no defenders. Yeah. They were just statues watching Slazarski finishing the ball. Which is a pity because if you concede such soft goals, this is why you sit in the relegation zone. Yeah,
after tonight, 25 goals conceded for Podbeskidzie. Did equalise though, and it was horrible defending for the away side tonight. Particularly that man you mentioned, Blissett there, Chris Graham. I think the keeper wasn't really covered in glory, Buric either. But Cisse, for a big, muscular, towering defender, he got out-muscled by Damian, didn't he?
You just probably need some more leadership in the back four, I believe, because you should never allow the ball to drop to a striker in such a position where, even though it's a nice half volley, you should still never have a chance to get there to shoot.
Fourth goal of the season, Chris Graham. I'll tell you what, if you were punting on Podbeskidzie tonight, you'd want him to stay on the pitch, wouldn't you? Because he looks like the one man with a bit of class in front of goal for them.
Yeah, he was, and it was surprising when they took him off. I just think at that point they felt we can get a draw here because Lech started the second half so abysmally. Yeah, 65 minutes in, still 1-1. They weren't looking like scoring, so I think the Podbeskidzie management thought we can get a draw here, 1-1.
Well, Slazarski toiled, didn't he, on a period of playing in Great Britain, in West Bromwich Albion and a couple of clubs. But 7 goals, to be fair. He looks good in Poland and got the second goal for Lech Poznan just after the hour mark.
Well, he certainly resembles more of the player at Sheffield Wednesday and Blackpool than West Brom Albion. But I have to tell you, that's a lovely finish. I mean, we do not accuse him of having such a nice left foot, but it's a lovely, inch perfect finish from outside the box. It's something that's why also the defenders.
Goals breed confidence, I suppose. He starts to do things that maybe he wasn't doing before, and it makes him more of a threat.
I think Lech needed somebody just to stand up, grab the game with the scruff of the neck, and have a shot like that. And Slazarski did it. They needed that because the previous 50 minutes before that, they were just just a disorganised shambles. So, you know, they needed somebody to step up to the plate, and he come out and he did that, and it was wonderful.
In between this, of course, Yellen had missed a one-on-one. He then missed a penalty. No Damien on the pitch, and then we had the substitute score the third goal for Lech Poznan. When Chris Graham was rejoicing at that point, Lech Poznan didn't prove to be as comfortable as he expected at this point. But again, it was poor marking, was it?
Well, I mean, I still want to credit the young goal scorer, his first Ekstraklasa goal, because it's a lovely diving header, you know, off the post. I mean, it's, you know, for a first goal, it's a wonderful
And that cross as well is not so easy to defend against because it's whipped at high pace and it's not higher hanging like some of the other corners we've seen.
Yeah, and basically
pieces.
Also how it was so far from the goalkeeper. That was pretty much unstoppable header. And we cannot blame the goalkeeper for anything apart from the an aggressive behaviour towards the goalpost afterwards. Yeah. But, you know, you're right, probably the defensive areas could be mentioned here, but I still want to credit the young goal scorer, who is also a son of a former Lech Poznan defender. So, you know, stays in the Lech family. Yeah,
stays in the family as well. And Lech Poznan is scoring 3 goals, a bit of I guess a big boost for them. But the defensive issues will certainly worry the manager Rumak, who's founded his teams on being defensively solid. And it was another header from Adamek this time. And I'm sure if you're betting on Lech Poznan as you were, it's sort of it's car crash TV, wasn't it? He just wanders in him, he just sort of like finds himself alone, and it's bounced off his head almost there.
I just think they're just so lacking in confidence just now. It really shows. You know, Burrich, the keeper, you know, he made that great penalty save, but let's be honest, he had a disastrous game.
You think he should have saved that?
Yeah, I think there was just lots of small things about his game tonight which was disappointing. There was no authority in any of his decision making, and it really showed, and it seriously cost his team tonight. But they got the 3 points.
I can only agree with Chris. I have to admit that some of the, apart from the penalty incident, I think another goalkeeper would have saved with that.
Well, the whole thing as well for Podbeskidzie, we shouldn't forget they created lots of opportunities, missed a penalty. They're also down to 10 men, and wrongly so. You can replay the incident from the very end of the first half, which seemed to be crucial at a time when Podbeskidzie had equalised, coming back in to the game. Robert, talk us through this once more time.
I think that, you know, that will remain a talking point, because up until then Podbeskidzie played such a good football.
Pietraszak on
basically Pietraszak, you know, the centre back, actually run faster than the Hungarian Gregor Lovrencic, you know, makes a really clean tackle.
It's a tackle of the season, isn't it? I mean, you can put that on showreels of defending.
It's unbelievably cruel. It's cruel, let's be honest. And you saw the frustration in him after the decision was made is just one of pure horror. But let's be honest, their penalty, I don't think was a penalty. So it kind of levelled itself out.
What's the upshot of seeing Podbeskidzie tonight? Because we say often we have an insight now for punters out there, people looking at the outright markets for title winners and relegation. They are 9 points adrift still. They have lost, I think, 8 of the last 9. They've only won or already failed to lose 3 games, 2 draws, 1 win. However, performances suggest, we know that we've been hearing reports from Poland, the performance is improving. Do they offer enough encouragement to perhaps say they won't go down?
I've got a theory, and my theory is that they really raised their game against the top clubs.
Yeah.
We saw the 1-0 up against Legia for pretty much most of the match. 3 late goals in the last 10 minutes. They drew with Wisła Krakow back at the start of the season, and they performed exceptionally tonight. So they really do raise their game, like Southampton in England really at the start of the season. When they come up against the top sides, they really raise their game. But it's against your Piast, your Pogons, your Widzew, where they struggle, and that will be why they'll